Hi, I'm Lucy Spraggan. Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
Welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show.
Lucy Spraggan, welcome to the Sarah O'Connell Show. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. I just had my a little sandwich and a bit of a workout, and I'm here.
And if you don't mind me asking, what kind of sandwich did you have?
I had feta, spring onion, and I've doubled up on the onion. And
I love onion.
I love anything. But I'm like a bit like my mouth's burning a little bit right now. But yeah, that was my sandwich on not good for you, just white bread. The best
I think
kind.
it's okay when you have onion with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, all the vegetables, yeah.
I think so. It's one of the main ones. If I want to be really healthy, I'll put cheese and onion crisps in my cheese and onion sandwich to make it even more healthy. So then you've got potato, double onion.
Yeah, and olive from the olive oil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I knew you'd understand. So, you're an incredible singer, songwriter, storyteller, and performer. And you first started playing the guitar when you were 10, is that correct?
Yes, yeah, I was 10.
But you didn't get into singing straight away. You had quite a number of wacky, non-connected jobs. You worked in a cave, you were training to be a fire person, and you held photos and all that kind of good stuff.
I did, yeah. My favourite was working in the cave. I was a tour guide in a cave because people are like, what did you do in the cave? And there's lots of things you could do. But yeah, I was a tour guide. It was just so fun. Like, it was great. I used to lie about all kinds of stuff. If I didn't know the answer to a question, I just made it up.
And you're also a magician, is that correct?
Yeah, yes.
You still do?
I still do quite a bit of magic, yeah. But I bought a load of tricks to learn in lockdown and haven't actually even looked at them. So
I very much look forward to seeing those once you've learned them. I've had quite a few magicians on my show actually, so maybe you can come back completely different guys and do some magic.
And with a beard.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
several beards. Several small beards.
Yes, that's so much better than one.
I know, right? I don't know why it disappoints me so much that people don't grow a moustache here.
Yeah, little goatees on tops of your cheeks. Boom.
Just like when you don't put the paper in the printer right and it doesn't print correctly and it's just slightly...
Absolutely, I'm so down for that.
So the first time I heard of you, of course, and I guess a lot of people, was 2012, X Factor.
Yes.
What first sort of prompted you to go on there?
Well, I've been talking to a few labels before that, and they all wanted me to change something, whether it was like my weight or one wanted me to be called Lucy Diamond because Spraggan's not memorable, or one wanted me to wear several beards. No, they wanted me to wear a pink princess dress and a top hat and Doc Martens, and as my USP. And I was a bit like, I've got one. Like, it's music. That's what I do. I don't think you need to mess about. And so me going on the show really was my opportunity to do it on my grounds.
So obviously you write your own songs and you chose to perform last night. Was it difficult picking the first song out of all the stuff, because you've got this huge opportunity, and do you go with something unique? Do you go with something by someone else? How did you end up with the song you chose?
Been doing a lot of live gigs. Like, at that point I was doing 4 or 5 shows a week, and that song just happened to get the best reaction wherever I went, so I just decided that I'd play that. And initially they were like, you can't play your own song, and I was like, well, then I'm not going to do it. So I walked on stage and did my own song.
Well, I love that you did, and the crowd obviously went wild and went to their feet, and they were chanting for more, as was I at home.
I wasn't. I was crying at home when it was aired. I was just hysterical. I
bet. It must have been really emotional sort of seeing that back, and I guess that was the biggest audience you played for at that time.
Yeah, by quite a lot.
My mum passed away in January, but we always used to talk about X Factor when we were watching it, and you were the first act that was on there that we first both liked.
No way!
It's kind of refreshing to actually both like and be rooting for the same person.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. I'm sorry to hear about your mum.
Thank you. You had an incredible time on there. You'd already released an album, is that correct? And
on
things like Tea and Toast on there from the album. So you're in kind of a different situation to a lot of people on the show, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like, I just wanted to be someone, and like through music, not like I didn't want to be a famous someone. I just wanted to be someone. I wanted to be recognised for my music. So, I'd been putting music out there and playing festivals and live gigs for years before I went on there.
You took songs like "I Will Always Love You," a well-known, much-loved song that's been top of the charts many times, and you made it your own. And I love that about you.
And massacred that one, but I have done covers of various different songs. But like when I was on the show, I didn't really want to do that too much because I didn't want that to be what I was about.
You've toured all around the world. You've played in America and Canada and Glastonbury twice, I believe. Where have been your favourite places, or the ones that really sort of meant the most to you?
Glastonbury was insane. Like, I never thought I'd get to play Glastonbury. I did before I went on the show, and then when I went on the show, I thought, I've like done my credibility in here for an opportunity like that, because I'm the first person from any reality TV show that's ever played Glastonbury. And so like to get there, I was like, oh my God, I've been working solidly for 7 years trying to not get rid of the X Factor thing, but just let people know that that's not who I am. That was just part of my journey. Glastonbury was insane. Obviously getting to travel the world is like, it's amazing. If you can do that through what you love, like that's my favourite part of the whole thing, meeting people, travelling the world.
Absolutely. Now, you came out when you were 14. Have you got any advice for anybody that wants to come out and feels maybe they can't yet or just hasn't?
Well, I was talking about this morning, funnily enough, and I had a really positive coming out, and like I came out, my family were like, yeah, we know. And my mum's been taking us to Pride since we were babies, and like her best friend is trans, and that trans in the 90s. Like, mum's just amazing, and it really upsets me to know that people don't have, whether you're trans, whether you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, it upsets me that people's families and their friends just that don't accept that properly. And like, my message to those people is like, yeah, I know they're your family and that you love them, but if they don't think if they think their prejudice is worth more than you, then you are so much better than them, and you do not, I know it's hard, but you do not need them, and you'll find people who know your worth. And if that's not your family, that's not your family. Like, they're not your family if they don't love you based on something that they've created in their heads. Oh, it just frustrates me a lot.
I think now with the internet and stuff like that, there's such a big community, and it's okay to hang out with your chosen family, and that the people that love and respect you for who you are, not try and force you into their boxes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard. It is hard. It's hard to be when you desperately want validation from somebody and they don't give you that. It's really hard. Like, if any family member of mine said to me they were doing something, anything, or they felt a certain way, as long as they're not hurting themselves or somebody else, I'd be like, just, the sky is the limit. Do what you want.
Exactly. Life is too short, and there's just be yourself, be happy, and just get on with your life and just be nice to people.
Exactly. And the LGBT community, I couldn't think of being in a better community. So
exactly. So speaking of which, the trans community is particularly under attack at the moment. Have you got any messages for the trans community?
I've got messages for the trans community, being that, like, I wholeheartedly support the trans community. Wholeheartedly. With regards to TERFs, anybody, like, I've had emails, do you want to come and play this thing? No, I absolutely don't want to come play this thing. I think you're disgusting. Like, I can't even, there was this thing, it's like local turf where my sister lives, got thrown out of a place because she had one of those dickhead t-shirts on, definition of woman, and someone threw her out, and she caused a little big scene about it. And I just wanted to go straight there. Like it had happened, I saw it on Facebook, I wanted to go straight there, but I honestly, it's just disgusting. Again, really pisses me off because why do you give a shit?
Yeah, exactly. I think for a lot of people, they just like oppressing people. And, like in the 1960s when people of colour would sort of had to go into separate bathrooms. And then in the 1980s, they tried to demonise gay people. And now I think trans people are just sadly their latest target.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those TERFs who are lesbians or members of any kind of community of like intersectionality or minorities, then like what? Oh, it just it just
Exactly.
really does annoy me. There's a certain thing about. Did you ever read the twits when you were?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I read all of them.
Roald Dahl and.
Yeah.
The twits, when I see TERFs, I see anybody just being an arsehole. I look at them in such an ugly way. They're so ugly. And it's because they think all these horrible thoughts and that, they're just ugly people with ugly thoughts. And I want it to be very, very, very known that I stand with my trans family, 100%.
I think it's sad to just... Like some people just waste their entire life on like say for example, I don't know if I don't like celery, right? So other people eat celery, cool. That's kind of the end of my relationship with celery. I wouldn't wake up in the morning and then write 180 tweets about why I hate celery. That kind of thing. 100%. It's like, don't you have hobbies? Do something else.
Yeah, you do you. We'll just do whatever we want to do and just to be happy. Sorry, it just annoys me. Anyone living their truth should not be questioned about it.
Now, you are in incredible shape. I've seen your photos. You've been working out. You've been using wallpaper paste ladder things to bench press and stuff like that. So how many days a week are you working out? Are you just eating those big protein powder things? How are you doing it? Because the crisps aren't working for me. So
I don't eat crisps because crisps are like my absolute kryptonite. And if I ate one bag of crisps, I'd eat 10. I gave up drinking 9 months ago, so I'm 10 months sober this month, actually.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I lost loads of weight from that because I used to drink all the time. With regards to training, I train 5 days a week. I run most days.
Wow.
It's really something that I've really got into. It's so good for my brain more so than anything else. I eat loads, but I also train loads.
Right.
So some days I eat so much, and I know I need to eat more. So I'm training for a marathon for next year. I'm doing Brighton Marathon.
Oh wow!
And I ran 11 miles the other day, and the day before that's like 2 miles short of a half marathon. Before I did that, I had to eat so much, and I'm just like, oh, I can't eat anymore. But it's just about like learning about what I actually need, rather than, because I've always had like an emotional thing with food and alcohol and people. Like I used alcohol to make me feel better. I used food to make me feel better. And I've used people, I've been codependent and like latched onto people to make me feel better. So exercising this sort of regime that I've never had is really working.
Well, yeah, you're doing amazingly, and I'm really happy for you, and keep it up. Good luck with your marathon.
Thank you. You made me want a crisp sandwich now, though, for real.
And now I want one too, with like double onion. I don't normally double onion, but I'm going to have to do that.
Extra onion.
So
I've got
I have
a little onion left.
Yep.
Hey!
I just sandwiched as well, and there was onion. There genuinely was onion. I'm literally spring onioning everything.
We should wear a little locket that's just half an onion each.
Oh, we should get those. Literally should, and never explain it.
Yeah.
Just
a really obscure one too that like doesn't even look like an onion, so people are like, "What is that?"
Yeah, just make it really small too, so they have to be like, what is happening?
And then when they get close enough, they smell the onion on you.
Yeah. It can be like a little. See if we can get some onion lockets that have a live piece of onion in them, or onion essence. Can you get that?
Oh, I hope so.
You
I
should do
hope
it.
so. This isn't where I saw this going, but I like it.
This is exactly what I wrote down. This is all onion related. I'm peeling this interview like a banana, and if only there's a better analogy for that.
Yeah, layers.
So do you have any tips for people in lockdown to sort of stay fit and healthy, and what can you do if you can't travel that far or get anywhere?
I think staying fit and healthy is most important for your brain. I think doing something for half an hour a day, even if it's like walking, or you know, you lie on the floor and you're like, I'm going to do some sit-ups, and you do like 4 sit-ups, but like who cares if it's 4 sit-ups? Like designating half an hour of your day to do that just makes you feel like you've done something and feel like there's a limited success of the day. And my other piece of advice, if you don't feel like doing it, do it anyway.
It's good
Just
advice.
because.
See, everyone does at least 1 sit-up a day, because you have to get out of bed unless you just roll out and fall on the floor.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
And I slide on my belly to the bathroom.
Now, you've got some fun stories behind some of your tattoos. One of them, did you invite someone to go to one of your shows and said you'd get their name tattooed on you if they brought 10 people along?
I did, yes. It was at a festival.
Yeah.
I got Joe E. Andrews tattooed on my arse.
And so is that still there?
It's covered up now.
See, this is my question. I wondered if it would be covered up. And also, with that in mind, you still have Ollie Myers on your foot.
That's also covered up. It's now a skyline of Paris. Only because I just felt a bit weird with men's names tattooed on me.
Yeah.
Like, the more that I've sort of like grown up and like learned more about my body and feminism and like owning my own shit, like I just was a bit like, I'm not sure about having men's names tattooed on me. I don't have any women's names either, so.
Right. Now you just have to hope that Ollie Myers doesn't drastically change his look to look like a skyline of Paris.
That would be so annoying, because I'd be
right?
like, now I've got to get something else.
Now your last album that you released in 2019, you've got a song with Scouting for Girls. Are there any other collaborations you'd love to do in the future?
Yes. Obviously, there are a few duets that whenever anyone asks me what I would like who I would want to duet with, it's like Dolly Parton, Beyonce, Ed Sheeran. But do you know any Lana Del Rey?
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't even be able to do it though, because she's the one person in the world, if I met, I'd get so weird. And I don't do shy. I get super weird.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Like, because I've interviewed hundreds of people on my show, and I've spoken to Tom Cruise and Will Smith and people like that, and right? But random people, like I don't get starstruck or anything like that, but you know, like if you grew up watching something, or if something particularly resonated with you, they're the ones that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm speaking to this person.
Literally.
Yeah.
And Lana Del Rey would be that for me. And I feel like I'd just do something that later on I'd be like, why did you do that? I used to watch. I hope it happens too.
Yeah.
When I met Nicole Scherzinger, because she was a judge on the X Factor, when I was about 14, 15, they did that J-Ho video, J-Ho, and there was this bit where she walked through a beaded curtain, and I just used to skip. I think it's like 2 minutes 48 or something in the video, and I just used to click back onto that and watch her walk through the curtain, and click back and just watch her walk through the curtain. So when I met her, I was like, it was horrible, because I was just like, I didn't know what to do. She was just there, and oh God, if there'd have been a beaded curtain, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember that came out with the film Slumdog Millionaire.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and that song was on TV all the time at one point.
Yeah.
Or even more of you recorded it.
I love her. Love her.
Now, your latest release, I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles. It's weird for me because I don't kind of connect the song with that title. Like it's just when I think of the song, I just think of the entire song, you know?
Yeah. I don't know whether they were like, what should we call it?
Yeah.
I just think of it as 500 miles, but yeah.
So how did you happen upon picking that song? Did it have a particular meaning for you? Why did you go with the Proclaimers classic?
I was listening to it and I was like, this song is so good. Like lyrically, it's actually great, but it just came on a playlist and I'd never actually listened to what the song was about. And it's like a really eloquent love song.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd like to do a little version of that, something really heartfelt. And so, yeah, that's what I did. My next cover is released on Monday.
Oh, really? What is that?
Well, nobody knows yet because I'm not supposed to tell anyone. When's this going out?
Day after you release the song?
I'm
Don't
doing.
tell anybody. No, we'll tell everybody.
Tell everybody.
That's not how promotion works, is it? We'll tell the entire world.
It's announced tomorrow anyway, I think. But I'm doing All the Things She Said by Tati.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like just super lesbian.
That's incredible.
But it's like a piano version. It doesn't really. It's like this 500 miles version.
I'm just listening to it in my head. That's amazing. I'm very excited because the thing I love about you too is you'll take a song and you make it uniquely yours. Like, you know, it's still that song, but it's just so you. And I love that about you. Like when you do covers, they just become your song.
I really hope you enjoy it because it's quite the song to like. I was like, there's pressure.
Yeah.
Because it's iconic lesbian territory, that.
Well, very much so. Wasn't it like banned in certain countries? And
I think it might have been genuinely banned in Russia, unless that was probably still is. Fuck it, I'm probably fucking banned in Russia. Who knows? I wouldn't go. A lot of countries scare me, actually.
Yeah, there's only a few, because I was thinking about this. So I'm sort of thinking about leaving the country because it's getting a bit hostile. And I was looking at countries that are sort of safer to live in, and I've kind of come up with New Zealand, Canada, Portugal, Sweden, and that's kind of an island.
Scotland as well, you know.
Scotland?
Yeah.
Good call.
Sometimes I think it's anywhere other than England. I'm European before I'm anything else.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I kind of just see myself as a person born on planet Earth. Like, I feel like we genuinely are all in this together. And I think stuff like the coronavirus just reminds everyone that no matter if you're rich or poor, what religion or colour you are, that we can all get the same things and we're all literally in the same situation and no one is above it or can escape it. You know, we're all stuck on this planet for a limited amount of time and we can either sort of work together or just push each other apart, and I'd rather work together.
Yeah, 100%. And did you see that weird video that Madonna did where she's like in the back?
I did, yes.
I actually quite like the sentiment behind it. Like, it is ironic, but I also was like, well, it is, isn't it? It's the sort of great equalizer.
I've got one more question about I would walk 500 miles, and that what is havering?
When I haver, it's get drunk and talk nonsense.
How? I never knew.
I think I googled it.
Yeah, I only ever sang it when I was drunk and talking nonsense. So I mean, I was basically informing myself.
It's one of those songs that actually you do not know the words to it, even though you think you do.
People always come in at the wrong time with the da-da-da-da, don't they? There's an extra verse.
Try playing it live. People go da-da-da-da-da-da, but they get really out of time. I actually encouraged them because it was so horribly awkward. It's just really nice to enjoy that moment of all these people in this room like, da-da-da. It was great.
They've done the wrong bit. They just think they know the song, but they don't.
They do not. And they don't know what havering is. Unless they're Scottish, then they probably do.
Exactly. Or if they've watched this, in which case they now know a lot about onions and havering.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're planning on recording your 6th album, your 5th studio album, which you released one independently this summer in Scotland. What can you tell us about it? Does it have a name? What kind of songs are going to be in there? What's the mood? What's going on with this album?
It doesn't have a name yet, but the mood of the album is like mature, more mature. And it's kind of it's not moody at all. Well, like my first single is like sexy, which is just so weird coming from me. Like it's about meeting a girl in a club, and it's definitely very open. It's very different to anything that I've done before, because it's always been like laughy, jokey, a bit like not much thought into the production process, and this is really it's got a lot behind it. It's a very different sound. And if you're thinking sort of Lana Del Rey, desert rat vibes, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's different.
I'm very much looking forward to hearing it. And speaking of which, when do you think it might be released?
October. It's getting a bit too close.
Yeah, this year's kind of all blurring into one big long day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just going to say, actually, I'm growing spring onions in the garden.
Are you seriously?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
I know.
Can you grow them from other spring onions?
You can, but these are seeds. I grew everything from seeds. I've done lettuce, courgette, onions, and potentially beetroot, but I've forgotten what's in that thing.
I'm growing mostly weeds in the garden at the moment, and few stinging nettles, you know. So if you want to swap ever, I mean, I've got loads of those.
I'm going to have loads of lettuce when it's ready.
Amazing.
Yeah. So come over.
Oh yeah, come over, have some spring onions.
Absolutely. They'll be very healthy.
We'll make it happen. See, if I walk there too, that'll be triple healthy.
And you will have walked 500 miles.
Yeah, and then I'll have to get back, so I'll probably have to walk a bit further.
Yeah.
I very much look forward to seeing you live, and I'll do what I can to support your tour as well, and tell my fans in Australia and all over to go see you, because of course they should.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Now
we can share onions backstage.
Well, we will, yeah.
I know we will.
Well, it's literally going to happen, like it has to.
I went to a garlic festival once. I wonder if there's an onion festival.
You intrigue me, Lucy Spraggan. I did not know there was a festival of this kind.
There is. And they had garlic, like beer. They had garlic chewing gum, which is like the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth.
Oh, wow.
And I put some stuff in my mouth, so...
See, it's difficult because you would think you'd have chewing gum to get rid of the taste of the garlic, but they put it in the chewing gum.
Yes.
What do you do? There's no escaping it.
Can't get away from it.
No. And you're very antioxidated, but also it's good for social distancing, I imagine.
We might be onto something there.
I think we are. Tell me a fun fact about you, something people may not know, a party trick or anything like that.
I eat apples completely whole, including the stem.
The little twisty wooden bit?
I eat all of it. The whole, just the whole thing.
Whole thing.
It's kind of a new thing.
Yeah.
I didn't have anywhere to put my apple core, so I just ate the whole thing. I was like, that's not really that bad. So I just eat the whole thing.
That's fair enough. I suppose it's made of apple.
Exactly. I don't think it's that weird. Like this woman sat opposite me on the train once with her headphones on, eating a whole pepper. And I just kind of, after seeing that, I thought I should live more. I should just live on the edge like that woman eating a whole pepper on the train.
I had a friend at university that used to eat whole kiwi fruits.
See, so do I.
Do you really?
Yeah. Like, I don't think anyone taught me. Like, I think with fruit, obviously not citrus stuff, you can't bite it and it tastes bad. If it doesn't taste bad, I'll just chow down.
Yeah, exactly. I went to Tesco once and I just bought this food blender processor thing. And I thought, I'm going to make a smoothie and I want to just have the most amazing variety of fruit ever. So I got things like dragon fruit, and there's something called Sharon fruit, I think. And I just got blueberries and raspberries and just cherries and just put it all in there. And it just tasted like kiwi fruit and banana.
Oh.
Yeah. There's literally about 20 kinds of fruit in there.
Strange.
Yeah.
I want to try that fruit that stinks, but apparently it's absolutely delicious.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like apparently, or vomit fruit.
There's some fruit that stinks at the back of our fridge, but I think it's just gone off. I think that's what I wouldn't try that.
Oh, gross. My fridge is like that. I'm so bad. I'm so bad for it.
Problematic. Now, finally, have you got any messages for people watching the Sarah O'Connell Show and your fans around the world?
Just hello, and I hope you're all doing all right in lockdown and otherwise. And I hope that life becomes relatively normal, not too normal, because that'd be very boring, soon, and that you're happy.
Lucy Spraggan, it's been an absolute honour speaking to you. I love your music. Keep performing and entertaining us, and congratulations on your sobriety for the last nearly 10 months. That's amazing.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to everybody watching at home. Be sure to share, subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and leave lots of lovely comments. And I'll see you all again soon for another episode of the Sarah O'Connell Show. Bye.